Hi, I'm Darren, Billenness, sales engineer for PERI Limited, and I was in charge of looking after the Marshgate project from tender phase through to delivery. PERI and Morrisroe engaged early at tender phase and met with the architect to look at requirements and achieve the best finish that we can. For the cores, which we used the Vario and RCS Max jump form on, we had a specific architect finish with ply and tie patterns, which all needs to be aligned and central, and that pattern was finished all the way up to the top. So what we also did on the fluid zone walls here is our Vario panels were bespoke and needs to be reused as much as possible, but it also had a Recley liner, which you can see the board finish, and we also used the DK tie technology to get the tie holes in, and then we insert a concrete cone afterwards, which is just recessed to make sure the finish is perfect. In order to achieve the finish on the fluid zone walls, we had a sole designer that looked at the workability and the methodology behind the fluid zones. So what we had to do was create a bespoke panel which had a board face Recley liner which could be reused around the building as much as possible. So there were 4 zones in total, and these panels consisted of the panels that needed from zone A to zone D. They needed to be the same panels reused, with limiting the crane as much as possible. So we also used SB frames to allow the movement from one pour to the other, which freed the crane up, as well as an RCS Max jump form which had hydraulic system. It meant the crane was solely there to do the decking and any other responsibilities around the site. The Vario panels were both assembled by Morrisroe to a high quality on site, as well as in our rugby fabrication yard. So PERI made probably 7 special panels and Morrisroe made the typical ones. The Vario panels were then delivered from our rugby depot to site, and Morrisroe added the Recley liner, which you can see here will be a copy from pour to pour. PERI supported Morrisroe in the installation of the jump form and the fluid zone walls by supplying a delivery engineer, which takes care of all the deliveries just to ensure we're hitting a good sequence of deliveries and making sure site isn't bombarded with deliveries all the time of panels and formwork. We also supplied site demonstrators to help and get into the detail and help the erection of the jump form and the fluid zone walls. The early engagement that PERI and Morrisroe had with the architect just meant that we could really achieve these fluid zone finishes. As you can see here, there's 3 ties in height, with one board. Using the new RCS Max hydraulics, it allowed us to join all the platforms together and press one button and the whole thing climbs together. This also limits the amount of usage of the crane. Following on from PERI and Morrisroe delivering the aquatic centre together, we've now also delivered UCL Marshgate. The project's gone really well, and it's another good architectural finish that we can both be proud of.